How passive is rank and rent? I know everybody has read Rich Dad Poor Dad or heard of passive income, mailbox money, you name it. And we all are chasing this thing called passive income, right? Basically, for those of you that, the three of you that don't know what that means, money that you don't have to directly work for, right? This is money that is coming into you passively. So this is a passive business model. And I would not say passive, I would say semi-passive. I'm one of those people that doesn't believe anything's truly passive ever, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so let's talk about how passive is this. And once again, this is coming from just my experience, but I do have a lot of experience in this. So I'm gonna share two different clients because I have seen everything, and I'm gonna tell you what I think that I've dialed in and determined, okay, here's my really passive clients. These ones make me wanna do this business. These ones make me wanna scale up. These ones make me wanna shout from the rooftop. And these ones over here, they make me wanna just like pull my hair out, okay? And I've done both, and luckily it has taken me time, I've slowly gotten to the point where I don't have a lot of pain in the butt clients anymore, okay? So let me tell you about two different clients I have. I have a client right now, I'm not gonna share this person's name. This is a client I sold back in 2019, and this is before I even was all gung-ho about flat fee. I just intuitively was like, it's probably a good idea, let me try it out, and I sold this thing flat fee before I went like all in on flat fee in 2020. But I didn't really set expectations well. I showed him one of my other projects that I had done, and I kind of oversold the deal, and he was expecting a bunch of leads, like way more than was probably realistic. And ironically, I still have that client to this day. To this day, I still have this client. But let me tell you, he's a pain in the ass. He really, really is. And what will happen is we'll be good, everything will be great, and then one day I'll get this flurry of text messages that says, hey, we're not getting any leads, blah, 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 blah. Like, what do we gotta do? What do we gotta do? And I'm out of the country, or I'm out of town, or I'm traveling, and my phone's blowing up, and I'm calling my team and saying, somebody just like deal with this guy, okay? And it's been like that for years. And he's not too bad. If he was too bad, I would have got rid of him, but he only does this once or twice a year, but he does it. And to me, I don't want to deal with that, okay? To me, that's not passive at all. That's just something weighing on my mind. So that's that guy, okay? Let me contrast that with another person that I have in my head that I've also been working with for a while. This one I signed I think it was March 14th of 2020, okay? Right in the beginning stages when I was going all in on flat fee. We met at, this is local here to where I'm at. We went and met at a restaurant, we pitched him on the deal, we got the deal, and I've been working with him ever since. And the only thing we've done is we've added other sites, we've added other locations. He's had me do other stuff, like he's had me do his SEO, back when I used to do SEO. I mean, it's been nothing but good. And in the almost 2.5 years that we've been working together, I have probably talked to this guy on the phone or in person 10 times or less. Okay, in 2.5 years. And some of you guys are getting calls from one client, 10 of those in 1 month. Okay, some of you probably getting 10 in a week. I know I had clients in the very beginning that they just thought I was somebody they could call at any given time, like I was a 911 hotline, right? Not the case, okay? However, I've only talked to this guy less than 10 times, okay? I've actually had him do work on my house. That was the last time I talked to him, and that was during Christmas. And he is the most easy, chillest client ever, okay? Now, how do you replicate the second one and just stop dealing with the first one? And by the way, when I first got into doing business for myself, I had my own agency. Somebody told me like, hey, if somebody is not nice and they're just kind of like hard to work with, just charge them an asshole fee, okay? Charge them more money because you got to deal with it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to charge an asshole fee, okay? I don't charge asshole fees anymore, period. If you're an asshole, I don't want to work with you. My life's too short, and it doesn't make that much difference in my life at this point compared to what it did then. I don't want the money. I would rather not deal with you being an asshole, okay? So if that's you, then like, yeah, I personally won't deal with it, okay? But how do we just not get clients like that first guy I described that are calling us, blowing up, etc., and we get more people like my second guy, which has been nothing. By the way, I looked at my Stripe account. I've made $25,000 from this one single client over the past couple years, and we've talked less than 10 times, okay? This guy lives very near to me, but we don't talk that much. He doesn't require that much. He's very low maintenance. And on top of that, that's just the client side. I haven't logged into the website in months. And when we did a couple months ago, it wasn't me, it was someone on my team. And all we did was we updated a couple pictures, a little bit of content. We did actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we did add a new review. We had somebody that had gotten a job from this person. We reached out to them, they did a review, but that's it. That's the only maintenance we've done in almost 2.5 years, okay? Here's what I think the key is, because the answer to how passive is, it depends on how you sell it, okay? So that's the answer. The answer is how you sell the deal is going to depend on how passive the deal is. Now, if we're talking like on the technical side, I mean, that's not a big deal. Once you rank the website and if you're not in a super competitive niche and city, which you shouldn't be anyway, once you rank the website, it's just a little bit of maintenance. Like I'm talking logging in once a year, if that. Okay, I have sites I haven't logged in years and they're still ranking. So I'm talking about on the client side, because on the technical side, once you rank, dude, I always describe it like this. It's like climbing a hill, right? Or climbing a mountain. You climb the mountain, it's really tough to get to the top. But once you get to the top, if you're walking on top of the mountain, and I guess assuming the mountain's kind of got flat at the top, like once you get to the top, it's pretty chill just to like walk around the top. You don't have to go anywhere. It's just flat, right? I guess I'm thinking of a specific type of mountain that I grew up around, but some of you guys are like, man, my mountains are like this, okay? The ones I grew up around, they went up and then they were kind of flat on the top. And so once you get to that top, it's pretty easy to maintain, okay? But it is kind of hard to get to the top. So that's how I view SEO, right? So I'm talking more on the client side, because on the technical side, as long as you do the due diligence, the market research properly, you get ranked, everything's white hat and clean by the books, it's not gonna be hard to maintain. That part is very passive. The client side is where it really depends. Here's the key. How you sell the deal and how you oversell or undersell is gonna determine how passive this deal is gonna be. So what I've learned is this. If you undersell the deal and you have their expectations right here, but you know you can deliver up here, as tempting as it is to promise them this or to get their expectations here, if you can just control yourself and keep the expectations here and still get them to say yes, they're very low maintenance. So with this specific example I'm talking about with guy number 2, this was like right around when COVID started. And so because of that, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I told him, I was like, look, this is what could happen, but this is what I'm expecting to happen. And I was like, you're probably gonna expect 12 to 15-ish leads a month. That's it. That's what I'm expecting. Now, I have these other websites, they're getting 30, 40, 50, but we don't know what's gonna happen. This is kind of weird. I've never seen this. People are like pulling stuff off the grocery store shelves and it looks like an apocalypse. I don't know. So I undersold that deal and I was willing to walk if he said, yeah, it's not gonna work, because I didn't know and I didn't wanna have his expectations too high. Well, guess what? Because I undersold the deal, because I told him to expect this, knowing pretty damn well I could be here with a little bit of luck and a little bit of SEO and a little bit of like, this whole world doesn't burn to the ground, I was gonna be fine. And guess what? He's always expected 12 to 15, and we have consistently given him 20 plus, some months 30 plus leads, and he is ecstatic. He loves it. He's happy. When my project manager talks to him, which she doesn't do it very often, but when she does, all he asks, like, how do we go into the next city? How do we go into the next city? What about this service? What about this? I'm thinking about this. And all it is like grow. And he's literally told me, he's like, dude, you guys have added some incredible amount of money to my business every single month. Now they're talking about gross numbers, but we took his business and I don't know how much he was making before, but we added in the first year, he made an extra $60,000 to his top line from our leads. Now I know some of you are like, well, $60,000, whatever, but for some people that aren't making that much to begin, that's a lot of money. And if they're only making 60 before, we just doubled it, okay? So to wrap this up, the key is this. If you want to make this thing passive, because it's the fact is it depends, okay? You're going to have some that are not passive at all because you're going to have to deal with the client, okay? The technical is always going to be pretty passive, but dealing with the client can be passive and it cannot be passive, okay? If you want it to be passive as it can be, because nothing's truly passive in my opinion, here's the key. Undersell the deal. If you know you can deliver here, and right here, let's say right here is 15 leads a month, guaranteed, okay? You want their expectations to be at 12. Okay, that's it. You want them making a decision, giving you a yes, saying let's go, to 12. Knowing in your back pocket, 15 is going to be a piece of cake. Because guess what? Then when you hit 20, they're ecstatic. When you hit 21, they're even more ecstatic. When you hit 30, minds are blown. And if you only hit 12, you're still good. And 12 is the number you know you can hit. Rain or shine, snow or freaking sun, you're gonna hit that number. Under freaking sell the deal, guys, and you will make these things way more passive than if you promise the moon.